Welcome to another Legal Talk on eRadio, and today we are talking to Isabella Mazzone from Hahn. She's an associate attorney, and we are discussing something interesting, which she's going to tell us right now. The question is, what am I putting on my face and body, and how cosmetics remain unregulated in South Africa? That's the question. So, Isabella, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Welcome back to Legal Talk. Nice to chat to you again.
Always good to chat to you, Ian, of course.
Thank you, likewise. So, are cosmetics actually legally regulated in South African law?
So this is the big question. Actually not. So currently, cosmetics is a very self-regulated industry. We have, of course, got our Foodstuff Cosmetics and Disinfectants Act, which is supposed to deal with cosmetics and doesn't deal with it specifically, but rather gives the minister the power to make regulations to deal with these cosmetics. And in 2017, actually, a draft regulation was published for comment on the labeling, advertising, and composition of cosmetics, which is really important. And comments were submitted, and all of this was actually handled with, obviously, it's a Department of Health regulation, but back then we had something called the Medicines Control Council. And subsequent to this regulation being released and commented on, the Medicines Control Council was actually removed and changed into the South African Health Practitioners Association. And ever since then, there's been not a peep of this regulation. It's sort of disappeared. The comments were never sort of reverted on, sort of been left sitting there not knowing whether a new regulation is coming. So far, it appears that nothing is coming. However, the industry itself has just been regulating itself. We have something called the Cosmetics, Toiletries and Fragrance Association, the CTFA, and they've sort of been self-regulating the entire industry and ensuring that they are adopting all the global best practices and following all of that. And they've also ensured that various voluntary standards have been developed by the SABS. And these standards include standards on ingredient labeling of cosmetic products and a standard dealing with sunscreen products. But other than that, and the basic acts such as obviously the CPA, our Consumer Protection Act, will always apply to consumer goods. But there is no specific regulation right now dealing with cosmetics.
Isabella, are there any updates with respect to these draft regulations of 2017?
So apparently not. Like I stated before, since the SAHPRA took over from the MCC, they don't really have the legal mandate over cosmetics. So it's sort of been left in this very awkward space of non-regulation. And nothing has been done since then. And apparently there is no regulation that is currently in development. The National Department of Health is also severely under-resourced, and they just simply don't have the capacity to deal with this.
Okay. And how do we complain about cosmetic products on the market?
So thankfully, and thanks to actually the CTFA for ensuring self-regulation, but we have quite a few things that we can do. So the Advertising Regulatory Board, which is the regulator when it comes to advertising on TV and radio, they have codes of practice. And yes, it is a self-regulating body and it's not a mandatory body, but a lot of anyone who's a member of the ARB has to abide by their code. And they have a cosmetics code in Appendix B of their code of practice. And it's quite an extensive code. It actually deals with all of the specific claims, such as unacceptable claims, natural claims, organic claims, all of these claims that you would see on a cosmetic product. And they actually deal with this and how they are allowed on products. And then if you believe a product does not comply, you can then go to the ARB and query this. We also, of course, have Section 5 of the Foodstuff, Cosmetics and Disinfectants Act, which applies to cosmetics and deals with false or misleading advertisement. And in that case, I believe you go to the DG of Health. The problem is not really likely for your situation to be resolved, because obviously they are completely overwhelmed with all the other regulations, but it is an option to complain in terms of Section 5. And then, of course, the CTFA, you can, if the product that you are complaining about, if the company is a member of the CTFA, you're able to complain about their members to the actual association, and then they will perhaps deal with this on that basis. And then, of course, obviously, you have all of the CPA remedies available to you if they are not complying with any of the sections of the CPA.
Okay, that was interesting. Isabella, thank you so much for this update.
No worries. Thank you so much, Ian.
Until next time, thank you. That's Legal Talk for this week.
Are you or your business in trouble and struggling to find a solution? Call Hahn & Hahn Attorneys as we assist clients in finding solutions. We specialize in consumer and food law, commercial and construction law, forensic investigations and administrative law. Visit hahnlaw.co.za. That's HAHN. We assist clients nationwide. Hahn & Hahn Attorneys, because we care. Don't miss Legal Talk with Hahn & Hahn Attorneys, Wednesday mornings at 10 on eRadio.